Okay, so what if you could build a house just like you build a car? On a real assembly line, then fold it up and ship it literally anywhere. Well, that's the core idea behind Boxable, a company that's making a home so out there, so innovative, that it actually ended up in Elon Musk's backyard.
So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get into that wild story about Elon Musk's $50,000 house. Then we'll dig into the why, the big pre-industrial problem they're trying to solve. From there, we'll look at their foldable aha moment, how these things are actually made, and then we'll take a tour of the Casita itself. And finally, we'll look at their absolutely massive vision for the future. We're talking one house per minute.
All right, so the story that really blew Boxable up, believe it or not, it didn't start with some huge, expensive marketing campaign. Nope, it all started with a simple phone call. A phone call that the founders almost hung up on, thinking it was a prank. I mean, you gotta hear this. The team just couldn't believe it. They were so sure it was a prank call that they actually turned the person down at first. They were like, sorry, we can't, because get this, they only had 3 prototypes in the entire world at that point. But then, of course, they figured out it was the real deal. So they delivered one of their super precious prototypes down to Texas, and that one move, it created this absolute tidal wave of free press. But it really makes you wonder, right? What was so special about this house that one of the most famous innovators on the planet just had to have one?
And that brings us to the core mission. See, to really get Boxable, you have to understand the huge problem they spotted. They didn't just wake up one day and decide to build a cool tiny home. No, they were strategically hunting for a massive, fundamentally broken industry that was just ripe for a total overhaul.
And this right here, this quote, is basically the aha moment that started it all. The founder basically looked around and had this realization. Hang on a second. Building a house is still a pre-industrial process. One of the most important things we buy, our homes, are still being built with methods that are hundreds of years old. So what does pre-industrial even mean? Well, think about it. Your car, your phone, pretty much every modern product we use today comes out of a factory. But our houses? Nope. They're still built piece by piece right out in the open, subject to rain, delays, all kinds of inconsistencies. It's wild when you stop to think about it. And when you lay it out like this, the difference is just, it's night and day. On one side, you've got the old way. It's slow, it's dependent on the weather, there's a lot of waste, and it's really hard to scale up. But on the other side, a factory. It's fast, it's precise, there's way less waste, and it's built for massive scale. Boxable basically saw this and said, okay, it's time to drag the housing industry into the 21st century. Okay, but let's be real. Factory-built housing isn't a brand new idea, right? Other companies have tried this before and, well, they haven't exactly taken over the world. So what's different about Boxabl? What's their secret weapon?
Here's the thing. Their true genius wasn't just building the house in a factory. It was solving the one giant problem that stumped everyone else: shipping. See, the biggest headache has always been moving these things. A typical factory-built home is a wide load, which is a logistical nightmare. It means special permits, escort cars, and crazy high costs that basically wipe out any money you save by building it in a factory in the first place.
And this is their breakthrough. 8.5 feet. That's the magic number. It's the standard highway legal width. By designing a house that literally folds down to this size, they changed the game. It means a Boxable can be towed by a regular truck. No special permits needed. They didn't just build a house, they cracked the shipping code.
Okay, so they figured out how to ship it, but how do they actually make the thing? Let's take a look inside their huge 170,000 square foot factory out in Las Vegas. So the whole process is modeled after a car factory, which makes total sense. Step 1, they'll laminate these super strong wall, floor, and roof panels. Step 2, they build out the core module. This is where all the complicated stuff goes, like the kitchen and bathroom with all the plumbing ready to go. Step 3, they install all the final finishes like flooring and appliances. And finally, step 4, they fold it up, do a quality check, shrink wrap it like a giant toy, and send it out the door. And the speed? Well, right now, their target is to get one house finished in just 4 hours. 4 hours! I mean, think about that compared to the months it takes to build a traditional house. It's just a whole different world. All right, so the house is built, it's shipped, and get this, it unfolds on site in about an hour. So, what's it actually like inside? Let's take a quick tour of their main model, the Casita. First thing you're going to notice is the price tag. The last listed price was around $60,000. For that, you get a fully equipped studio apartment. Kitchen, bathroom, the whole deal. In today's housing market, that is an incredibly compelling number.
And yeah, that price point has created just staggering demand. We're talking more than 160,000 people on the wait list. That right there tells you everything you need to know about how hungry people are for a different, more affordable way to live.
But what about when you step inside? The first thing people say is how surprisingly spacious it feels. And the trick to that is the ceiling height. They're 9.5 feet tall. To put that in perspective, standard ceilings are 8 feet. That extra 1.5 feet makes a huge difference. It just makes the whole place feel so much more open and airy.
And a really important design rule for them was no tiny home stuff. They didn't want it to feel like you're making compromises, so everything is full size. You get a full-size refrigerator, a huge kitchen, plenty of space for a queen bed, and the bathroom is actually really spacious. It has an 8-foot door and an 8-foot tall shower. It's all designed to feel like a real, permanent home.
So, where is this all going? What's the end game? Are they just trying to be a really cool tiny home company? Not even close. The Casita, that's just the proof of concept. The real vision is so much bigger.
Their ultimate goal is, well, it's staggering. Right now, they're at about one house every 4 hours. Where they want to be? One house every single minute. That is the holy grail of mass manufacturing.
And this quote from the founder really gets to the heart of their whole mindset. You know, a Ford or Tesla plant can put out a car every minute, so why can't we do that with houses? It's that classic first principles thinking, breaking down a problem to its absolute basics and asking, why not?
Because the Casita, see, it's just the first step. The whole system is designed to be like a set of building blocks. You can stack them, you can connect them, and you can create much larger homes, apartment buildings, you name it. The ultimate goal isn't just to be a home builder. It's to become a building technology company that provides the fundamental pieces for a whole new way of constructing, well, everything.
And all of this leaves us with a pretty massive question, doesn't it? I mean, look, the challenges are still huge. You've got regulations, land issues, infrastructure, but they have solved that fundamental problem of shipping. So you have to wonder, could a factory assembly line, with its speed, its lower cost, and its massive scale, could that really be the key to solving the housing crisis?